So, Jai. So today I'm going to read the chapter on meditation from the book Who Am I? So, the word meditation is a big turn-off for many of us. Why? Because it carries numerous negative connotations such as effort, seriousness, discipline, boredom, duty, and a heavy vibe in general. This perception arises from the misunderstanding that we must do and endure some kind of unpleasant activity as we wear our meditation straitjackets for half an hour, often without any benefits, while impatiently waiting on the minute hand to tell us that our time is up. And then we enthusiastically remove our straitjackets and get back somewhat too eagerly to the world and its stimuli. Meditation does not mean identifying with the body, being aware of the body, or feeling whatever sensations are going on in the body. You're not meditating with body consciousness, nor are you using mindfulness, but you are instead meditating without the feeling of the body being there. You are meditating as presence on presence. In other words, you are meditating on what you are, the invisible meditator, or that presence that knows you are meditating. Oh no, not meditation, we often exclaim, based on our brief and disappointing encounters with it in the past. But meditation is not something that we do. It is not an activity, but a way of being that's neither heavy nor serious. On the contrary, it is light, fun, and free because it is our natural, thoughtless, stateless, empty, invisible, silent reality. Abiding in our true nature can be experienced as a gentle stream of flowing grace. You're not the body or the mind, but unborn. Therefore, learn to stay dedicated and loyal to that stateless state. Live as that invisible presence. After you have weeded out some of the troublesome concepts using self-inquiry and the mantra, a greater space will open up for you to dwell on your reality. Let's start with basic meditation, which means being still and continuously churning the knowledge of your reality. Meditating on your true nature will deepen your understanding, enabling you to dwell as your natural state in that field of reality. How do you do that? For example, contemplate the truth of I am ultimate reality. What does it mean? What are the implications? Ponder this. There is only one reality, and you are that reality. If everything is that reality, that means everything is within you. Let that truth touch your heart. Or practice churning the powerful truth, I am prior to beingness, or I am unborn. Calmly reflect on your true identity, that stateless state before beingness, in this way. I exist. I have always existed, but not as a body-mind. How was I? Meditating like this draws you closer to your unidentified identity. Here, you're not looking for answers, but instead tapping into your transcendent nature, your source, and bathing in that sacred atmosphere, that river of light. At the advanced stage, when there is nothing left to dwell upon, because the gap between knowing and being has been bridged, you will be established in your natural state. And when this happens, your efforts will no longer be needed. Meditation in the real sense of the word is not something you can do. It is synonymous with what you are. When knowing and being are one, only then is real abidance possible. Day and night, night and day, in that unlimited self that you are. For now, practice meditation, remembering and dwelling on your true identity 24/7, and keeping the focus of your attention on the source. Don't see meditation as some 20 to 30 minute slot or compartmentalized section of your life where you must remain in a certain uncomfortable asana pose. But with a quiet, determined passion for finding out who you are, concentrate on your essence, your reality. Stay with your reality at all times. With practice, meditation will become a way of spontaneously living life as you are in your true essence, at one with the source that is your reality. Your identity is before thought. It follows, therefore, that you do not have any connection to the thoughts. Don't identify with them. Just let whatever thoughts arise, come and go without giving them any attention. They are of no interest to you. Using this kind of meditation reduces the thoughts, resulting in the re-establishment of your innate, pure, unblemished, untainted, changeless reality center stage. Don't involve yourself in any thought processes. Why would you when you have nothing to do with that? You are nothing to do with that. You are the witness that is always standing at the bank of the river. You're not flowing with the thoughts, but letting them pass by like a meandering river. Don't take delivery of the thoughts. Don't be upset by them. Don't judge them. There is one exception to this guidance, which has to do with specific recurring thoughts. And because of their nagging presence, they are guaranteed to interfere with your meditation. You must deal with this baggage, whatever issues they may be, and give them some attention. Face these pesky ghosts head on and get rid of them once and for all. Otherwise, they will continue to inhibit your progress. Meditation means being alert, naturally at one with your nature. When your attention is firmly established in selfless self, when your default setting is selfless self, the thoughts diminish. Living life in this way, as thoughtless reality, is like spontaneously gliding through space, free of thoughts, concepts, feelings, or anything else that is sticking to you. If you become aware of something sticking to you, it means you have been sucked back into the quicksand of the mind. And when this happens, the spontaneous, free-flowing energy is interrupted and comes to a sudden halt. Meditation is non-dual. It is not a subject meditating on an object, but inherent silence. You are the light behind everything. The practice involves staying in and as that light that you are. After some training, the meditation will happen spontaneously and be as natural as breathing. Meditation means being firmly rooted at the very core of your being, your divine headquarters, and operating from there with what can be described as a spontaneous love of the infinite. When you stay in your reality zone, sorry, I'll take a minute. When you stay in your reality zone, you function from your natural home, allowing the fragrance of selfless self to permeate with spontaneous happiness, peace, and bliss. Learning to live in the illusory world without falling into its many traps comes with training. Don't make any excuses like saying you do not have a meditation room and therefore you can't meditate. A meditation room is not essential. Meditate, don't procrastinate. Practice staying as the neutral witness, keeping your attention focused on the seer instead of on the seen. Stay with the source instead of the world. And when your attention is drawn away from the source, gently bring it back. Rein it in as soon as you catch yourself straying from self-attentiveness. Once that meditative stateless state is established, it will always be there, no matter where you are or what may be going on around you. And in time, everything will be calm, peaceful, and silent. You will not be disturbed or perturbed by anything, but blissfully dwelling in that inner silence and stillness of oneness. With progress, that sense of oneness will grow and extend until it fills your entire existence. With a blissful feeling that the body is the whole universe and the universe is within you, that transcendent love will begin to spread and you will see yourself in others. Giving too much time to the world and only 20 minutes to meditation will not work. Especially at the start of your practice, you need to be alert to your nature from morning till night. Throughout the day, when you are distracted and involuntarily get drawn back into thought forms, you need to train yourself to remember your identity instantly, so that you can bring the focus of attention back to the source. These lapses will continue until you have mastered the practice. Just don't give yourself a hard time over it. If you falter, bounce back as soon as possible. Don't linger on perceived failures. Keep going forward. The practice will soon become part of your daily routine, which you will find not only effortless, but fulfilling. When you first begin the practice, you will need to force yourself to remember at all times that you are not the body-mind. But later on, you will not have to make any effort at all, because you will know. The conviction will grow, first of all intellectually, and then spontaneously. The tool of meditation is needed to weaken the mind's force and reduce the traffic of thoughts. You can't be thinking when you are otherwise engaged. And when you have learned the art of meditation, you will live spontaneously as your true nature, as your natural state. Jai Guru. Now, here is a related question. I used to be very reluctant to meditate. I would clock watch and wait for it to finish. I didn't think I was making any progress, so it was hard to keep going. However, now things have changed. I look forward to meditating because it has become a very peaceful and joyful experience. Now I no longer check the clock, and it is like I can't get enough of it. And I said, it is great to hear that your determination and practice is paying off. And now there is a natural urge to meditate for far longer periods. This is wonderful. This peace and joy that has begun to flow freely is what Maharaj calls the fragrance of selfless self. So keep going, Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Now here's another question. Here's a question about the ongoing wars. On my side, it's been the same routine of war and combining meditation in the morning and before sleep if my eyes manage to. The problem is the endless thoughts from do's, thoughts and horrible memories. Apparently, I'm not as Teflon as I imagined. Feels like back to the starting point, but hopefully the journey to the self will be quicker. Even manage to translate a chapter or two. How could I be an abode to such shocking happenings of consciousness? What is my responsibility as its holder, if any? Does spontaneous happenings mean no responsibility and just witnessing? The suffering is very present. Much love and longing for sanity. The times are short and the urge to return to reality is present also. And the answer, I said, Namaste, I can't imagine your situation and the exhaustion too. I would try and use the Nam mantra to counter the memories. Don't let them linger and try not to give them attention. You're not back to the starting point. This experience, horrid as it is, will precipitate the journey, as you say. To your question, how can you be an abode, ... Remember that all this is a dream, an illusion. It may not help to hear this, but it is a fact. When Nisargadatta was asked about Hitler and the pain and suffering caused by him, his reply was the same. It is illusion, a leela. Nothing is happening. Your responsibility is to continue to behave as before, with kindness and compassion. You know it is a dream. You witness the goings on, and at the same time, you help others and be compassionate towards them. As you know, suffering comes from identification with the body form. Keep reminding yourself that you are not that. At the same time, it is very challenging to view the horrors around you, and here, know that I am praying for you to have ongoing courage and not be terribly affected by what you see. Stay with the seer, not with the seen, and know that Maharaj is with you always, as I am too. Know that this too will pass. It is good that the urge to touch base with reality is there. The sooner, the better. The bhajans will keep you uplifted also. We had a beautiful Sita Rameshwar Punyatiti celebration last week. I will send you the link. It will inspire you. Meanwhile, take great care. Much love and blessings. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Question. I was introduced to the work of Ramana Maharshi and Nisargadatta a decade ago. Since then, I have felt attracted to his teachings, although I admit that I have not practiced Atma Vichara enough. I met Shri Ramakant a few days ago. I have seen some video of him and I've read some texts. His way of communicating has encouraged me to return to the practice. I am interested in receiving the Nam Mantra. If you need more information about me, please don't hesitate to ask. And I responded, may I suggest that you read Maharaj's book first, El Ser Sincer, and once you have more of an understanding of his teachings, then we will see about the Nam Mantra. Jai Guru. Question. The way I see it is that suffering is a call to self-inquiry, to investigation. And thanks to the body, I have understood that I am nothing. And I said, who suffers? Suffering only happens because of your identification with the body-mind. You are not the body, nor the mind, nor your fears, nor your pain. You are unborn. When you have the conviction that you are not the body, not the mind, not anything that is temporary, then you're entering the path of reality instead of illusion. While suffering can be a great teacher, once you have learned from it, there is no further need of it. There was no suffering prior to beingness. You say you have understood that you are nothing, but what you have missed is that you are also everything. You are presence, energy, the source, the power behind everything. When we remove the illusory layers with the help of the Nam Mantra, you will begin to return to the source that you are, your natural state, your permanent state. What you are in reality has never undergone any suffering. It has never been touched by anything. It remains pure and pristine. That presence is the power behind everything. The workings of the mind that lift you 1 minute and bring you down the next is part of the illusory dream called life. Happiness and unhappiness, all moods pass, and that which passes is illusion. When all the superimpositions, the conditioning, the brainwashing, etc. has been undone, when the clouds have all gone, then the light will emerge once more. Jai Guru. I would like to be initiated with the Nam Mantra from the Guru. And I said, what is it that you are hoping to receive from initiation? In what way do you see that it is going to help you? And the seeker replies, honestly, I hadn't thought about initiation in terms of I expect this or that from it. But I reflect on this matter now, and I can say very briefly that there is in me a longing for disidentification with the body-mind and for the return of the light. At the same time, I could also say that I don't expect anything from it, and yet I await it with joy. I hope I am explaining myself well and not adding concern. And I said, the Nam mantra is not to be taken lightly. You sound a little vague about initiation, which indicates that you're not ready yet. The Nam mantra is not a magic wand, but is a meditation tool that will help you to disidentify with the body-mind. However, in order for it to work, you must appreciate and value it by longing for it and expecting something from it, instead of, as you say, not expecting anything. Please contemplate more on your wish to be initiated and then get back to me. As I said, the Nam mantra is not to be taken lightly, nor is it given lightly. Jai Guru. Question. I am convinced that there is destiny at work. And I said, everything is an illusion. Every concept is an illusion. Where was the concept of destiny prior to beingness? It was not there. Therefore, destiny is an illusory concept that you need to let go of along with the rest of them. The bottom line is everything is an illusion, every concept without exception. The process you're undergoing is about dissolving everything you believe in to be true, removing the attachments, removing all the positions and stances you have taken up in life. This seeker is still not satisfied. He's not willing to listen. He gets back to me and says, the way I see it is I still believe there is such a thing as destiny. So I respond, I have already responded and told you that destiny is a concept, and to let it go are a waste of time. You are undergoing a purification process. Once it has come to an end, there will be a shift in your perception. The way you view everything will change because you will no longer be in the picture. And when you are no longer there, everything will be viewed from the perspective of oneness. Jai Guru. So, and now I would like to offer the group some encouragement. You may sometimes wonder if anyone has been liberated from their small selves after following the practice like you do for some time. The answer is yes. Occasionally I hear from seekers after a long period of silence. These communications are different because they do not contain any questions, and not only that, they are very uplifting because they convey the news of liberation with expressions of gratitude. Here are a couple of examples. I did not write to you for more than a year after one day that profoundly changed my life, as I wanted to make sure the state was permanent. On that day, I came home from work, worried about a financial matter, and after eating, I began to read for a while as usual, the book Selfless Self. While I was reading, suddenly, all the worry and tension disappeared, and I was certain that I am the silent and transparent presence that never changes and has always been there, before this body and before everything, and that will never disappear. And there is no reason to worry. What happened during that moment is difficult to explain, except to say that the deep feeling of tranquility has not been lost. The brain continues to create thoughts, but they are more diffuse. They remain outside a space of silence, like traffic noise. Some thoughts make themselves heard louder, but there is always the security of that presence in the background. And since that day, I have also understood some things that I read in the book I Am That, such as, quote, a state that cannot be expressed in words, but can be experienced, unquote, and many others. I also know that after so many years of reading and spiritual practices, the ultimate truth, which has always been there, has found me. And there is nothing more to learn, just to live it now, which has been happening since. I will always express huge gratitude to you for spreading the wonderful teachings of Shri Ramakant Maharaj and the Inchgiri Navnath Sampradaya. Jai Guru. The second one comes from someone who had indicated last year that the conviction was established and she had entered a quiet space. Recently, she contacted me and said, I am writing to say hello and express to you my love and gratitude, always in silence and emptiness, no questions, no ups and downs. Conviction is ever present. Love and blessings. I have quoted only 2 examples here, but I know of others who have reached the destination. There are those who have conviction, but choose to remain quiet and don't make contact. Jai Guru. So that was a little encouragement to spur you on. Now, back to questions. What, if anything, did Maharaj say regarding Kundalini, awakening and completion? Am I on the right track that he would not give it much, if any, importance because it is just phenomenon and body knowledge? And I said, you are right. Maharaj was quite disparaging in a humorous kind of way about this kind of talk. And he would often say, this chakra, this chakra, Kundalini, forget it all. Jagre. Now, question. I was in the ashram of Nashik in 2018 and received the Nam mantra from the Master Ramakant Maharaj some months before he passed away. Advaita community in Spain is really small, almost negligible. I guess that in big cities like Madrid or Barcelona, there are more people who at least have heard about that. However, in the very south of my country where I live, I think I must be the only one. By the way, could you tell me if there is any active Advaita ashram in Europe? We could do with one to bring us all together. A good idea. So, how fortunate that you received the Nam not long before Maharaj's Mahasamadhi. An active Advaita ashram in Europe sounds like a wonderful idea. Ideas such as these have been many, but implementing them is a different story. Who is going to initiate the project? I am sure there would be a lot of interest, but for that we need volunteers and resources. Would you like to initiate this project? It would be great seva, I said. Not surprisingly, I never heard from this seeker again. Since encountering Maharaj 10 years ago, unfortunately, I can count the number of devotees who have offered to do some kind of seva. If someone else does the work, then others will be interested and get involved. The idea is still a good one. Needless to say, there is no comparison to be found in communicating online to having a physical building where we can meet, share, meditate, sing, etc. Maybe it will happen in the future by the grace of Maharaj. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Question. I have been a practicing Buddhist for over 40 years, studied Advaita. I read and listened to Shri Ramakant Maharaj hammering away that I am spontaneous presence and the world is a projection. Yes, it is true. The Master mentions the Nam mantra. I have been using I am Brahman, Brahman I am. Is this the mantra? If not, is it possible for me to hear it? I have no other interest in life but returning to the home I never left. And I responded with, can you tell me how old you are? The Nam mantra has the same meaning as I am Brahman, Brahman I am, but it is given by way of initiation, which Shri Ramakant Maharaj authorized me to do. Please tell me which books you have read of Maharaj. Do you still see your identity as a Buddhist? I am not sure if you understand that the Nam mantra is not simply a separate, standalone mantra, but is an integral component of the lineage teachings. Are you familiar with the masters of the Inchgiri Navnath Sampradaya? If not, please take a look at the website ramakantmaharaj.net. Jai Guru. Another question. I went through the website and learned about Maharaj. Let me give you my brief background. I live in Pune, India, and have worked in Bombay too. My age is around 40, and my spiritual journey started around 2011. I belong to a spiritual family, but I was a non-believer till 2011, when on one Thursday I had a mysterious vision of Shirdi Sai Baba, and subsequently I started having many mystical or yogic experiences. Though I hadn't practiced anything in this life, this sparked my thirst, and in the subsequent 10 years I studied many spiritual books, such as Autobiography of a Yogi by Sri Paramahansa Yogananda, books by Ramakrishna, and many other saints. I am mostly of devotional mindset, but I do practice meditation since many years and found some peace. In 2017, I suddenly came across I Am That. I read it a little, but it was difficult for me to understand initially. I kept reading in between, and I don't know, but some words stuck deep inside and something changed. So I also read Seeds of Consciousness. The words were strong enough to put me into deep silence. At the same time, I had a vision of Maharaj in a dream. I have also visited the Samadhi of Maharaj in Mumbai, and after searching for his living disciples, I could find the name of Sri Ramakant Maharaj. I wish I could have met him in Nashik, but he passed away in 2018. So I was wondering if I could come across anyone presently on the lineage of Navnath Sampradaya to learn more about it. Thank you for sharing your information, I said. I am part of the lineage. I was initiated in 2013 and have been initiating sincere seekers since 2018. As I mentioned, I'm the editor of Maharaj's books and have also written 2 in the last couple of years, Timeless Years with Sri Ramakant Maharaj and Who Am I? Let's arrange a date to meet up online. Jai Guru. Question. I cannot express in words to you what it means to me to have an opportunity to meet with you and hopefully in this lifetime have the initiation ceremony with you. I am crying while I'm writing this, therefore I'm asking if I may please come to you in person. And I said, I can see how important this is for you, but let's take it slowly. And first of all, meet online as I suggested. First of all, we need to explore where you are at and if you can commit to the requirements. And I need to make sure that initiation is right for you at this time. Maharaj hammered into me more than once to use discrimination when giving the Nam mantra, and I always do so. Jai Guru. Question. I practiced TM regularly for 6 years, but starting in 2017, there was a crisis in my path. I began to doubt whether TM was the right practice for me. I really disliked that the organization was asking so much money for its teachings, and I began to doubt Maharishi Mahesh Yogi as a teacher I could follow. So I started looking around for other teachings, but didn't feel comfortable with any. I started to think more and more that maybe I should look for a new teacher and other practices. And so today I came across Shri Ramakant Maharaj's website, and I liked that he also offers a mantra-based technique. May I ask for information on how I can start practicing this mantra? And I said, are you male, female? How old are you? Where do you live? You say you have been looking for some spiritual teachings and practice to follow for a long time. Can I ask you what you're hoping to find from these? The Nam mantra is not like TM. It is not a standalone mantra. It is part of the teachings and the practice. Which spiritual books have you read? You need some kind of reading background, so I suggest you start reading Selfless Self and get back to me after you have read it. So, Jai Guru. Now, to finish, I would like to share a dream someone had a couple of months ago. He had read Nisargadatta. Now, anyway, in his dream, all the masters appeared and Ramana Maharshi as well. The seeker looked surprised in the dream, so Siddharameshwar smiled at him and then pulled him up, saying, why are you surprised when we are all one? And then Ramakant Maharaj said, go and receive the Nam mantra from Anne, followed by read Anne Shaw's book, Who Am I? This seeker was naturally amazed. He got in touch with me and has since been initiated. This is an example of how Maharaj is ever present, directing and guiding seekers to truth. Have no doubt that Maharaj is here with us now. I was especially pleased to hear Maharaj's recommendation of the book, Who Am I? Maharaj had instructed me to write this book after the completion of Selfless Self, and as with Selfless Self, he chose the book title, Who Am I? And also, as before, he specified his wishes for simplicity, and this time for a contemporary style with the aim of reaching a mainstream audience. As Maharaj attained Mahasamadhi in 2018, he never got to see the completed book. Therefore, hearing his comment now via the seeker's dream was great. It was like an endorsement from the other side, so to speak. Jai Guru. So we will now close And that's it. Thank you for coming. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.